Good morning and welcome to Inside Texoma. I'm News Channel 6, Melissa Kakarika. As we wrap up 2015, today we're taking a look back at this year's episodes in our Inside Texoma Year in Review. So let's start by going a whole year back to January 2015. Our very first episode of 2015 was about the Duel. For this event, runners can compete on several different trails and races. There's even a Boston qualifier. We talked to the organizers about the event and we told you what it benefits. All money stays in the community to help the MSU cross-country team and the local trails in the city. If you're interested, the Duel is always the third weekend in January. This year, the Duel will be on January 16th, 2016. That's a Saturday. From getting your body in shape for the new year to getting your finances in shape, our next episode was about financial tips for the new year. We spoke to Gail Cunningham, a certified personal finance expert. Gail helped us figure out the biggest financial mistakes people made in 2014. She also gave Texomans tips about paying off debt, building credit, and saving money. Hopefully they worked and you were able to get your finances in order during 2015. We then spent some time talking about the drought. At the start of the year, believe it or not, lake levels at Arrowhead and Kickapoo were at a combined total of 21%, and the city was in Stage 5 drought restrictions. We spoke to Mayor Glenn Barham and Public Works Director Russell Schreiber about all the initiatives they were using to try to fight off the drought and save water. Fast forward to 1 year later, it's a completely different story. Due to the heavy rainfall in May and throughout the year, Wichita Falls made it out of the drought. Lake levels are now at 100% full, completely full. 2015 actually turned out to be a record-breaking year for rain, and everyone in Texoma is certainly thankful to end the year better off than we started. We started off February talking about Mardi Gras Nocona style. The annual celebration draws thousands of people to Nocona every year, and we got into the spirit by talking about the event and, of course, dressing up. We talked about everything Nocona and Montague County has to offer as well. Now, Nocona Mardi Gras is a big event. It's taking place again in 2016 during the first weekend of February from the 4th to the 6th of 2016. Then we took an inside look at the Iwo Jima reunion in Wichita Falls by talking about its importance to the community and the veterans, and of course, educating the public about Iwo Jima and World War II. We even spoke to veteran Bill English about his experience during the war.
I've tried to emphasize the tragedy of war and what it meant to so many families to lose one of the men and some women in the battles, for not only just in World War II, but in the Korean War and the other campaigns that we have had, and just to try to instill in the minds of the young people that war is no play game. It's very serious business.
Now, back in February, it was believed this would be the last Iwo Jima reunion, but there's good news to report now. It turns out that was not the last Iwo Jima reunion, as a high number of vets wanted to bring it back again in 2016. A new organization has decided to bring back the annual reunion and revitalize it to include World War II survivors and family members. So look out for more information about the 2016 reunion in the coming weeks. February is also Black History Month. So Inside Texoma sat down with many Black community leaders to hear their voices, including the president of the NAACP chapter here in Wichita Falls. He gave us his perspective on Black history and the importance of the month.
I'm a believer that if you don't remember your history and adhere to it, you're doomed to repeat it again. We don't plan to repeat that history. Therefore, we must teach our young people the history of this country, the history of the NAACP, and the Black person's plight in this country. Nothing has been given, it's been earned down through the years.
We also spoke to a local nonprofit, Reach One to Teach One, to get their perspective on Black History Month and how they planned to celebrate, and the Green Door to promote a Black History Month event going on there. In March, News Channel 6 was busy, starting with Storm Week. We sat down with the Skywarn 6 weather team to talk about severe weather safety, and we talked about the weather road shows, which News Channel 6 put on for the public. Following Storm Week, we sat down with members of the News Channel 6 news team for a look at the best of February. We showed you several special reports that the team worked on, and we actually did this a few times during 2015, showing you special reports from the News Channel 6 team. Also in March of 2015, we sat down with Habitat for Humanity. We talked to them about what it takes to build houses for members of the community, and we talked to someone who was on the waiting list for a house. For more information, you can visit their website, www.habitatwf.com. Later, it was all about the Lake Wichita Revitalization Project. We talked with members of the Revitalization Committee about the project. They gave us insight on the history of the lake and what they hope its future might be. 1 year later, the Lake Wichita Revitalization Committee is still working hard on this project and hoping to make it a reality, and they anticipate a big economic impact. News Channel 6 has been keeping you updated on the progress. We'll continue to do so. Well, that wraps up the first 3 months of the year, but as you know, there was plenty more to come on Inside Texoma. We'll take a look at some more of our episodes when our 2015 Year in Review returns after this break. Welcome back to Inside Texoma. Today we're taking a look back at 2015 by showing you some highlights of this year's episodes. So let's continue with our Year in Review by taking a look at April through June on Inside Texoma. It all started with an inside look at Turkey Fest, put on by the Clay County Chamber of Commerce. What a fun event this is. We previewed the annual festival, the Battle of the Beards, and the Full Strut Banquet, all parts of Turkey Fest. Of course, Turkey Fest will be going on in 2016 as well, so for those of you who have already started counting down, you have just a few months to go. Later in April, we helped you get healthy. We spoke with certified health and weight loss coach Susanna Gallegos to talk about her weight loss program, Figure Fabulous. We even turned the studio into a kitchen, showing you how to put together a healthy meal and shed those pounds. This was one of my favorite episodes. Hopefully Susanna's tips helped you lose some weight or just get healthy. May was a big month for the WFISD. After a failed bond proposal, the district was back at it again, trying to pass a new bond. We talked to school officials and bond supporters so that voters were prepared when they headed to the polls.
Basically, this bond just puts out those things that we know that the community or feel like the community can get behind. A CTE center and safety and security technology, all things that will be a positive benefit to our district.
After the show aired, the bond passed, and construction on the new Career and Technology Center is moving forward. Just this past November, the district officially broke ground on the CTE Center, located near the intersection of Henry S. Grace Freeway and Hatton Road. The center will open in 2017. Later in May, the Wichita Falls Museum of Art unveiled a new pavilion, and they had a special ceremony to do it. We sat down with the museum to learn why they needed the new pavilion and how it would help.
In our thinking about what do we really want to see, we want more visitors, we want more participation, and we want people to enjoy those kind of programs. At the same time, our wedding reservations began to be more and more, yeah. And people wanted to have their weddings outdoors. Well, we didn't really have a space for them outdoors. They were kind of just standing on the lawn.
Hanging things from trees.
And in both cases, we said, we can do better.
I was lucky enough to be one of the MCs of the event, and I can tell you the celebration was a great time. And I know since May, the pavilion has been used for many outdoor concerts and events, and it looks great. Burke Burnett celebrated a grand opening too this summer, the Boomtown Bay Aquatic Center. We gave you a sneak peek of this water park before it opened to the public. Park officials say it was a successful opening season. Boomtown Bay averaged between 500 and 600 visitors a day and brought in revenue and jobs. The park will open for its second season next Memorial Day. Relay for Life is always a big event for Texoma communities, so we got Texoma ready for the Wichita Falls Relay for Life. But we didn't just talk about when it was taking place. We talked firsthand with a cancer survivor about her experience and what Relay for Life means to her and other cancer survivors.
When the person gets a cancer diagnosis, it affects the whole family, not just that individual. There's major changes with the whole family. Going through treatment, making sure that person gets to treatment on time, make sure that they are taken care of when they come home after chemo treatment or radiation or whatever. There's, a shift in diet a lot of times, and the whole family is affected. And extended family and friends, a lot of friends at times don't know what to say or what to do to help. And so it does. It affects your whole, anyone that you have been in contact with, it can affect.
The 2016 Relay for Life in Wichita Falls is set for June 3rd, 2016 at 7 p.m. at McNeil Junior High's track, so start getting your team ready for next year. As kids headed into the summer months, the Wichita Falls Public Library kicked off its summer reading program. We had them in studio to talk about the program and why it is so important to get kids reading during the summer. Speaking of summer, another big part of the summer in Texoma is Freedom Fest. This year, News Channel 6 was a proud sponsor of the event held at Shepherd Air Force Base. So we just had to give you a preview of the big event on Inside Texoma.
It's wonderful. I would say that this is just going to be a great opportunity. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're really trying to make it the best event, the best summer event in Texoma. So we're hoping people from all the miles around Shepherd Air Force Base will come out and join us.
Between 20 and 25,000 people came out for Freedom Fest this year. I can tell you personally it was a great time. I was there. We're halfway through our Inside Texoma Year in Review for 2015, showing you all the highlights from this year's episodes. Stay tuned to see highlights from our episodes in the second half of 2015 after the break. Welcome back. You're watching Inside Texoma, and this is a very special episode. Really, it's many episodes inside one because we're recapping some of our episodes from the past year and showing you some of our favorite clips. And as we're halfway through the episode, it's time to take a look at our episodes during the second half of the year. News Channel 6 was thrilled to host the Big Boy Toy Show again in July, and our sponsors were excited as well to show off their cars, RVs, motorcycles, and more. Thanks so much to everyone who came out to the Big Boy Toy Show this year. We hope you had a great time. Our next episode was pretty serious. We talked to First Step about domestic abuse. We talked about how you can get help or how to help a friend, and also how you can support the organization. If you need help, you can always reach out to First Step. They're located at 624 Indiana Avenue, or you can call the 24-hour crisis hotline, 1-800-658-2683, or visit firststep.org for more information on how to get help. And this time of year, the holidays, is very challenging for survivors of domestic abuse. First Step normally sees an influx of people coming into the shelter, so they would appreciate your support and donations during this time of year. Up next on the schedule was Backdoor Theater, a very popular venue here in Wichita Falls to see a play. We talked to director Michael Sherry about the history of the theater and how it's grown over the years. And we previewed some of their upcoming plays, including Rent, one of the big headlining shows of 2015. Backdoor Theater is already planning for 2016. The season for the new year begins on January 22nd with the play Assassins on the main stage. One of the big headlining numbers of 2016 will be Rock of Ages in October of 2016. You can always get more information, or you can always buy tickets at backdoortheater.org. Later in August, we gave you a two-part look at the Hotter than Hell 100. We talked about everything from the events to the economic impact, the history, and we gave you tips for training for the big day. This is the biggest event of the year in Wichita Falls, so let's take a look at a clip from our double dose of Hotter than Hell episodes.
Well, 34 years ago was our first event. We started working on it a year or so before that, but the Board of Commerce and Industry had asked me to work on a project which would be to come up with a kickoff event for the centennial. And so I visited with this newly formed bicycle club, and we we decided that if this was going to celebrate 100 years of life for our community, it needed to be a 100-year bicycle ride to celebrate that on a 100-mile distance at 100 degrees. Well, we learned it when we presented what we thought was a really cool idea to the Centennial Committee. We learned that the company that was here to help put on the event had planned for that to be a rocking chair marathon. Well, I said, no, we're not doing a rocking chair marathon. And well, the advisor from that company thought I was as crazy as I thought he was. But as it turned out, certainly a rocking chair marathon would not have had the staying power that bicycle riding has had. And at the time, it was 100 miles was really unusual for bicycle events.
The 2016 Hotter than Hell 100 takes place on August 27th, 2016. And guess what? Registration opens January 1st, so sign up and start training. But August is also a big time of year for the kids because it's back to school time. We taped a special back to school episode to help all of our kids and parents out there. We gave you tips about back to school health from the Community Health Care Center and tips for back to school shopping from a certified credit counselor. And we spoke to the WFISD to make sure you were ready for the first day of school. Later in the fall, Crime Stoppers held its third annual Cops and Robbers 5K. We brought you a preview of the event and told you how to sign up. The 5K raises money for rewards for the Crime Stoppers program, and it's a whole lot of fun. Of course, Crime Stoppers is active all year round, and we talked about all of the ways they help stop crime in our community. If you ever have a tip about a crime, call Crime Stoppers at 322-9888. You can also text a tip, or you can visit wfcrime.com. You can also look for our Manhunt Monday segments on News Channel 6 every Monday, and the list of Texoma's most wanted every Friday on News Channel 6. Also in the fall, Texoma was gearing up for the Texas-Oklahoma Fair. So we gave you an inside look at all the rides, the food, the exhibits, everything going on this year. The Founder Lions Club puts on the fair every year, and this year was just as popular and just as spectacular and fun as past years. Next year, the fair will be September 13th to the 17th, 2016. Another big event in the fall is traditionally Falls Fest. This was a little bit of an emotional episode of Inside Texoma since this year was the last year for Falls Fest. We talked to the Junior League about the final year of the event, the history, why it was ending.
It's just kind of time. We feel like 30 years is a great time to kind of end it, and the league's got some other big ideas they're wanting to kind of work on, and we've got a mission and it kind of focuses on a certain area, and so we just decided we needed to get rid of something in order to start something new. And so we decided, this would be a great way to go out with a bang and then start fresh with something else next year. So
the event went out with a bang, and I think Texoma will be a little sad that Falls Fest won't be back in 2016. Finally, we wrapped up September by talking to the Nonprofit Center about Teens Make a Difference. The program pairs teen volunteers with community projects to make our area a better place. If you'd like to learn more about the Nonprofit Center, you can visit their website, nonprofitcenterwf.org. The Nonprofit Center was back later in the year to talk about Gingerbread Jubilee. We'll show you that episode and the rest of the episodes we taped over the past few months when our 2015 Year in Review continues. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Inside Texoma 2015 Year in Review. We're looking back and remembering all the great episodes we taped this year. We've made it almost through the entire year, but we do have a few more episodes to talk about. In October, we gave you an inside look at Empty Bowls. The fundraiser is in its 4th year in the Falls and benefits the Wichita Falls Area Food Bank. We previewed the event, but also gave you an inside look at hunger in our community and how to help. Then we sat down with a very special Kirby World Academy student. His name is Krishna Reddy. He's gained national attention for his invention. It's a device that helps police detect people driving under the influence. The invention earned him a top 10 finalist spot in the Discovery 3M Young Scientist Challenge.
So I invented an apparatus that can tell if you are under the influence or not. Its benefits are that it can be used for all drugs and alcohol. So police can use it on the road.
After the episode aired, Krishna competed in the finals. He wasn't the 2015 winner, but it's clear this kid has a bright future ahead of him. From a student inventor, we moved on to other entrepreneurs by talking about Idea Wichita Falls. This competition helps people get their businesses started and provides mentoring and resources to do that. We spoke with the coordinator about how to sign up and a previous winner. This process is actually still underway. The new winners will be announced in April. Stay with News Channel 6 as we keep you up to date. The winners will get money to start their business, so good luck to this year's competitors. When Halloween came around, News Channel 6 was busy preparing for our annual Safe Kids Halloween. Every year we invite the community to trick or treat with us. We talked about this year's event and looked back on some of our favorite memories. Safe Kids Halloween was a big success again this year. Thousands of people came out to get some candy, and we loved seeing all of your costumes and sharing Halloween with you. As November kicked off, we gave you an inside look at Beast Feast. This cook-off is put on by the Crossroads Gang to help veterans. Several MSU students also helped with marketing the event this year. We talked to them and to the Crossroads Gang to preview the event. And just an update, back in the beginning of December, according to their Facebook page, Crossroads Gang presented a check for $6,000 to the local DAV. From cook-offs, we moved on to holiday events. Our next episode was sure to get you in the Christmas spirit. We talked to the organizers of Hangar Holiday, put on by the Shepherd Officers Spouses Club. Hangar Holiday raises money for scholarships and gives people a chance to start their Christmas shopping. And it was a split episode. During the second half of that episode, the Nonprofit Center was back to talk about Gingerbread Jubilee. Everyone loves building gingerbread houses, and this holiday event helps raise money for a good cause. Later in November, we told you how you could help children learn to read. The Read to Learn program within the WFISD helps kids with reading skills by having them read with adult volunteers for 30 minutes once a week, and it makes a big difference. Read to Learn goes on throughout the school year. For information on how to volunteer, you can go to WFISD.net. And here's a look at our most recent episodes. We continued to get you in the holiday spirit. First, by talking to Hospice of Wichita Falls about the annual Tree of Lights campaign. Every year, Hospice asks the community to raise $200,000. And when they reach that goal, they light the star on top of the tree on Chase Bank Tower. News Channel 6 always brings you that ceremony live, as it is a big holiday tradition.
Well, we started the campaign. It's our 30th year, of course, for Hospice of Wichita Falls. And we started the campaign just to make sure we never have to turn anybody away that needs hospice care. So we're always available to anybody and everybody in need of hospice care.
Then we continued getting you in the Christmas spirit by giving you an inside look at another holiday tradition in Texoma, the MSU Burns Fantasy of Lights. The lighted holiday displays are amazing. We talked about what it takes to get those displays up and what it means to the community.
We usually spend around 2 weeks getting the displays out to the lawn at the Hardin Administration Building, getting everything, all the electrical plugged in, all the displays cleaned and up to date and ready to go for the opening night.
Finally, we wrapped up 2015 by talking to Faith Mission Faith Refuge. Every year, News Channel 6 holds a coat and blanket drive to benefit Faith Mission. We told you why you should donate.
We gave away almost 800 coats last year. And just for the benefit of the viewers, so they'll know, we're careful to make sure those go to people who are not just taking them and selling them. We try to keep really good records and make sure that people who are taking those coats are using them. And it's just amazing to know that there's that many individuals out there who don't have coats in the wintertime. And we couldn't possibly afford to buy that many. So Channel 6 helping us out with this coat drive makes it possible for us.
And we talked about more than just the coat drive. The Faith Refuge Career Academy starts in January, and we told women how to apply. And we told you how to get help from Faith Refuge or Faith Mission if you need it. They have a lot of programs and a shelter to help people get back on their feet. That wraps up our 2015 year in review of Inside Texoma. We hope you enjoyed this look back at Inside Texoma this past year. Thank you to all of our guests for being on the show. If you want to see any of these episodes in full, just head to newschannel6now.com and click on Inside Texoma. And if you ever want to be on Inside Texoma, just reach out to News Channel 6 with your idea. Thanks for watching. We hope to see you in 2016 on Inside Texoma. We're already planning new episodes. Happy holidays and Happy New Year from everyone at News Channel 6 and Inside Texoma.